Hey guys, Holly from hollylambershell.com, and I wanted to come on and talk a little bit about working while kids are present. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because it just seems to keep coming up in a lot of like mom groups that I'm a part of or mompreneur groups. So we're trying to, get some stuff done, but we might have kids at home. I know for us, basically, we're in the second week of summer, so the first week, the whole family took off, so we were not like doing regular routines. We were just having a little vacation, and now we're into the part of summer where, we kind of have to go back to the like summer routines, a little different than the like fall winter routine, but there's still routine things that have to happen, like me doing some work and stuff like that. So basically, I keep hearing this question over and over again, and I have some pretty good solutions that I've developed throughout the last 7 years. So basically, I have two different ways you can handle a situation. So usually what happens is I'll be busy working on something, got my head down at my desk, and I'm in either one of two modes. I'm either in this like get shit done kind of mode, like work, nose to the grindstone, got to do this today kind of mode, or I'm in the other mode, which is like creation mode. I'm fiddling with things. I'm trying to create new stuff. So basically, depending on what mode I'm in is how I handle it. So what'll happen is I'll be sitting there, I've been working away at my keyboard, and a child will come up and essentially interrupt and be like, yo, blah, 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 and they come up with amazing reasons. Sometimes it's like, I'm hungry. Sometimes it's like, I'm bored. Sometimes it's like, I want to go outside, like sometimes it's really easy, if it's like, I want to go outside, the answer's like, yes, so long, here's your boots, let's get going. But sometimes when you are trying to get stuff done or you're in the creation mode, and the answer isn't so simple because they're, bored or whatever it is that they've come up to you with this explanation. And you really just want them to, one of two things. You either want them to go away, let's be honest, you want them to go away so you can finish what you're doing, or you want them to go away for a longer period of time. So really it's the same thing. But so if you're in the get shit done kind of mode, when that happens and I'm interrupted, I find out what their query is. Obviously, I'm kind, and find out what their query is. And if it's, not life-threatening, somebody's bleeding, then I basically try and transition them to another activity, or I remind them of the activities that are available to them. And so some of the things that we've put into our house is we have a large art cabinet, which is full of board games. It's full of craft supplies, everything you can imagine, from Play-Doh to beads to things that they can do independently. So we give a couple suggestions. I'll be like, hey, do you want to paint? Do you want to pull the Play-Doh out? I'll give a couple suggestions of that. And I'll remind them that I am, I have this work period. I need to get my work done. And usually 9 times out of 10, that'll work, and they will go and get involved in another activity. The other way, though, I've been experimenting with a lot more lately is actually getting them involved in whatever I'm doing. So, for instance, using that flexibility in when I'm doing that creation mode, my daughter and I designed t-shirts together the other day. And that being said, does including them in the process end up taking a little bit longer? Sure. But it's a lot more fun too. So, I could weed the garden, for instance, in 1 to 2 hours by myself. But when we do it together, we're spending time together, which is the whole reason that I like to work from my house. And the other reason is, they see the world so differently than we do. They see a bug and they get interested in that bug. And then next thing you know, we're in the bug book learning about the bug. And that's okay. When you're in that flexible creator time and you have the time to kind of, go where the road leads. And so designing the t-shirts together was really cool because we did it together, and, what design do you want to use? What font do you want to use? And we kind of stepped through the process together. So I guess my question to you is, for the flexible one, is there a way for you to include them in your work? Is there a way for them to stick stamps on the envelopes that you're sending? Is there a way for them to is there a way for them to be part of the process, to give high fives after you do a certain thing? Is there a way for them just to be present at that desk and do some really great coloring next to you? Sometimes that's all they're looking for. They're looking for that little bit of presence. It's easy to give it to them. And the reason why we're working with them around is because we're building a better life for them. That's really what we're doing. So, why not get them involved in the process? Like, as a kid, I built my dad's training manuals around the table for him, and all four of us were involved, and we would each pick one up. Some of us were better at it than others, and we would add sections, and we'd add that whole binder together, and that's what we did together as a family. He was technically working at the time, but we were involved in the process. So is there a way you can get kids involved in your work in a fun way? Is there a way that you can celebrate after you get out of get shit done mode? It's all about making it fun. It's also about loading your house with a little bit of distraction. One of the things we did last week was we each took a little bit of money out of our piggy bank and we went to the dollar store and we created a summer fun box. And the deal is you can do one thing a day out of the summer fun box. So today they made airplanes out of foam. It was like a little craft kit, and they did that. Sometimes it's really simple. It doesn't have to be difficult. But these are the ways that you can, start working a little more effectively while kids are present. My kids are a little older now. They're actually 7 and turning 5 next week. For my younger kids, when I was doing this in toddler and preschool age, obviously nap time was power hour. I got a lot done during nap time. But even a 3 to 5-year-old, you can get a span of about 20 minutes where they'll do something themselves. There's no shame in a little bit of iPad time in there, guys. There's a lot of educational apps out there. You can definitely use those. We played a lot of Montessori apps over the years. I think also there's lots of things you can distract them with. Play-Doh was always a favorite as long as you're willing to clean up the mess that they may make. And there was things like sensory bins that we made out of pasta. There was a lot of ways to keep them entertained, and you would get about a 20-minute thing. You could sit next to them and do a little work, and they could do a little of their own work, which of course is play. So think outside the box a little bit. Figure out how you can get them involved in your work. Figure out what things you can add around your house that are easily accessible at child height that children can do. If you're worried about the mess, do things like get the color wonder markers that won't mark on the floor, keep the Sharpies out of reach, that kind of thing. But in terms of craft, I think we've only had 2 craft accidents ever, and one of them was yesterday. So it's pretty fair game, that craft cabaret, and having them be able to access their own stuff. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions, throw them below, and I'd be happy to tell you more about what I've learned over those 7 years and how to keep kids occupied while you're trying to work. Talk to you soon. Bye.